Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. You know, always one tends to talk about topics which are trending. What works in, especially in YouTube, is are topics that are trending and people are searching for it. So when you speak about that, you get lots of viewers and lots of revenue and lots of viewership and all of that. Through my editorial, I have continuously strived to ensure that I get you topics that are important to you, that are important to this nation, regardless of whether people search for it, whether it is trending or not. And keeping that same objective in mind, today I am going to talk to you about two of the most important things that we should know and we should be aware of. One is health and second is education. My first topic therefore is about Niti Aayog's Health Index 2019-2020. I'm going to talk to you about that. And my second topic is about the deteriorating conditions of certain IIT, which is the pride of India. IIT that keeps India in the forefront of technology. I'm going to talk to you about some deteriorating IITs in India. This is my topic for today. Let's get right into the show. So like I said, the Niti Aayog announced their Health Index 2019-2020. And Kerala incidentally emerged as the best performing state on health parameters for the fourth consecutive year. And Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh were the three lowest ranked states. This is what the index said. And before I get into the index and before I get into a little more details, I'm not going to deep dive into the index and all that. I'm just going to give you a broad understanding. Before I get into even that broad understanding, let me give you three major highlights. Highlight number one is 4 out of 5 major states in 2019-20 index are from South. The top 4 out of 5 major states. That's highlight number one. Highlight number two. Uttar Pradesh score improved by 22% to 2018-19 and was the highest among the major states. Now Uttar Pradesh, while it is the lowest at the moment, but Uttar Pradesh's score, it increased by 22%, which is more than all the other states from 18-19 to 19-20. So they did well in the last 1 year. And point number 3 is Kerala performed the best on the maternal mortality ratio. Maternal mortality ratio, Kerala was the best, and Kerala was also good in under 5 mortality parameters. So children and mothers, the mortality ratio in Kerala was fabulous. They were number 1. So this is broadly the highlight of the index 2019-2020. Now, like I told you, let us get into some detail and then we will draw a conclusion and get into our next topic. Now let us talk about maternal mortality ratio, MMR as it is called. Okay, now MMR, the ratio is as follows. They look at 1 lakh births, live births, and then the number is based on 1 lakh live births. So Kerala, the mortality ratio was 43 of 1 lakh live births. Maharashtra, 46, which is number 2, 46 out of 1 lakh live births, and Tamil Nadu was 60 out of 1 lakh live births. Now let us talk about the worst 3 states. Assam was 215 out of 1 lakh live births, UP 197 and MP 173. So this is as far as maternal mortality rate is concerned. Now let us go to under 5 mortality rate, children mortality rate. Now, number of children deaths for less than 5 years per 1000 births. This is 1000 births. Earlier was 1 lakh. This is 1000 births in 2018. Now let us go to the numbers. Kerala was 10 deaths per 1000. Number 1. Number 2 is Tamil Nadu, 17 deaths per 1000. Number 3 is Maharashtra, 22 deaths per 1000. The worst 3 states are Madhya Pradesh, 56 per 1000, Assam 47 per 1000 and Uttar Pradesh again 47 per 1000. So that's as far as under 5 mortality rate goes. Now let's get into proportion of institutional deliveries. How many people, how many mothers, expected mothers, are going to a institution, going to a hospital for delivery? Okay, Telangana is number one here. 96%, 96.31% of mothers goes to institution for deliveries. Kerala, number 2, 92.29%. Maharashtra, number 3 at 91.19%. Uttar Pradesh is the worst at 60, with only 60.78% of people going to institution for deliveries. Bihar, 61.66% is the second worst, and the third worst is Madhya Pradesh, which is 66.33. So 19th is Uttar Pradesh, 18th is Bihar, and 17th is Madhya Pradesh. So here it goes. Now let's go to another parameter. Proportion of shortfall of healthcare providers against the required numbers in 2019-2020 in percentage. The people versus the healthcare providers. The ratio between people versus the healthcare providers. The best state of people versus healthcare providers in percentage is 1.45%, that is Haryana. Second is Punjab, 5.33%. Third is Telangana, 7.54%. The worst state again is Bihar, ranking 19th with 41.27%. Himachal Pradesh, 37.51%, and Chhattisgarh, 33.01%. This is the condition of proportion of shortfall of healthcare providers against the required numbers, and the year is 2019-2020. Okay, death registration, proportion of death registered under CRS against the estimated number of deaths in 2019. Now, the best ranking state is Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Haryana, Gujarat, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha with 100% death registered. The worst is Bihar with only 51.6% death registered, Jharkhand with 58.8% death registered, and Uttar Pradesh with 63.3% death registered under the CRS against the estimated number of deaths. This is the status of our health. Now, the Niti Aayog CEO, Mr. Amitabh Kant, had said that we rank small states, large states, and union territories separately. Uttar Pradesh has shown the best improvement in the last 2 years. So, UP ranks number 1 in Delta improvement ranking. Assam ranks second and Telangana third. So he's congratulating Uttar Pradesh because they have improved since 2018-2019, which I told you about. And he says that the 3 states that are really shown improvement is Uttar Pradesh, which is the best, and of course followed by Assam and Telangana. This is what he has to say. He also went out to say that Uttar Pradesh has made the biggest improvement in all the health issues like infant mortality, maternal mortality, sex ratio, birth governance issues, and number of medical colleges. So in all parameters, he says that that Uttar Pradesh has made improvement, and he also went on to say that I want to congratulate Uttar Pradesh. The state has been improving in health index in the last 2 to 3 years. This is what he had to say. Okay, so this is it. Kerala being the best, Uttar Pradesh being the worst. Uttar Pradesh, but being one of the states that is rapidly trying to improve itself in the last 1 year, which is good, which is very good. 22% is a fantastic improvement rate if that is what the figures are, and that figures are right. So that's good. Now, you see, the point that I am trying to make is, I think India should be standing where Kerala is standing. The percentage what Kerala has achieved should be the least, that the worst state of India should be in that percentage. Most of this should be in 100%. The fact is, somewhere down the line, we have not been bothered about our health. Health and all doesn't even come into manifesto. Health and all is not even discussed. Nobody, people talk about Hindutva, and people talk about mandir, masjid, and so on and so forth. Health and all doesn't even come in a discussion. It doesn't even figure in major politicians, big ministers and leaders' speech. It doesn't even figure in. So the fact is, somewhere down the line, either we don't care a damn about our health, and therefore the politician doesn't care a damn about our health. And mind you, if we are not healthy, if this country is not healthy, it is going to affect every parameter of our lives. It will affect our health, it will affect our economy, because it will affect the way we work, it will affect our efficiency, it will affect the way our output is. So everything is so connected with health. And I don't have to tell you all this, you know it. But the irony is, we never speak about health. This is your index, and I want each of my viewers to know that this is where our country stands as far as health is concerned. Nothing to be proud of. Let's get into my next topic. You see, IIT, Indian Institute of Technology. It's one of the premier institutions of technology in the world, one of the best in India. It is indeed a privilege, pride, if you are an IIT student, or if you are pass out of IIT, or if your ward is studying in IIT. It is such a privilege. And if you are out of IIT, you are considered to be one of the best brains. There is no debate. There is no question. And not only in India, you are supposed to be the best brain, one of the best brains in the world. You are good. That's why you are an IIT. And that's what IIT is. Now, IIT, a lot of people say that was inaugurated in 1956, and it was after independence. Actually, IIT was not thought after independence. IIT was thought much before independence. The idea of IIT originated during the Second World War. There was a gentleman called Sir Ardeshir Dalal. Ardeshir Dalal was from the Viceroy's Executive Council, who said that, for India to grow, this was in 1947. He said, for India to grow more than capital, you require technology. And he realized that importing technology from, or technologists or experts from United States and others will not help. He realized that. He realized that one has to develop technology in India itself. And he also realized that Indians are good at it. He realized that Indians were good when it came to engineering, when it came to technology. And that is how this entire concept of Indian Institute of Technology was, the idea came about. Of course, it was not called or not conceived as Indian Institute of Technology, but that's how the idea came about. It is said that Dr. Humayun Kabir, who was an educationalist, encouraged Dr. B.C. Roy, the Chief Minister of West Bengal then, to work with Sir Ardeshir and work this concept of IIT out. So in 1946, Dr. Kabir, along with Sir Joginder Singh of the Viceroy's Executive Council, Department of Health and Agriculture, set up a committee to prepare a proposal and made Sir Nalini Ranjan Sarkar the chairman. So there was this committee of 22 people called the Sarkar Committee, which was formed, and the Sarkar Committee had recommended to create an IIT, to create this organization. The first Indian Institute of Technology was born in May 1950. Now, very interestingly, the first was Kharagpur. I'll tell you, there are 19 IITs till now. There is IIT Kharagpur, which is the first, IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi, IIT Guwahati, IIT Roorkee, IIT Ropar, IIT Bhubaneswar, IIT Gandhinagar, IIT Hyderabad, IIT Jodhpur, IIT Patna, Indore, Mandi, Varanasi, Palakkad, Tirupati and Dhanbad. So there are 19 IITs in total. All this is good, and believe me, our students, our ex-students, are the alumni, they are leaders in the world. They are leaders in the world. Go to NASA and you will find every second, third, fourth person an IITian. Go to any top companies anywhere in the world, you will find 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 IITians. So IIT actually became the reference point for fabulous technology experts, for fabulous technologists. It became a reference point. So you are from IIT, you are good. It was given, it is understood. So that's the thing. And even why IITians has even shined outside of engineering, outside of technology. Arvind Kejriwal, IIT. There's so many IPS officers, so many IAS officers. I know a lot of IPS officers who are IITians. So, and they are good. They're good. They're intelligent. They're brilliant officers. So that's our IIT, and that is what India builds. So when people ask, what have we done in so many years? This is what India did. This is what India did. This is 70 years of India. This is development. The best of colleges. How many Pakistans or Sri Lankas or Nepals or for that matter of fact, even Russia and others can talk about an institution like IIT. How many? How many? So this is one great achievement of India. Something that our founding fathers worked hard and gifted to us. Now let me tell you what is the status of IIT now. The status of IIT now is 8 out of 19 IITs, according to some audit reports, are not doing well. They're not doing well. They do not have the students which they have the capacity for. So the number of students are less. They have not filled in their capacity. Why they have not filled in their capacity? Because they don't have teachers. They don't have staff. They have an inadequate faculty to students ratio. And in all the 8 institutes that I spoke to you about, this is the state. This is the report in between 2014 and 2019. So between 2014 and 2019, the students were less. They couldn't accommodate students. They have not filled in their students because the student to faculty ratio was less. There were no teachers. IIT. The point that I am trying to make is, if you can't create such facilities, if you can't create such brilliant institution, at least do not destroy it. At least try to maintain it. Keep the politics aside. Focus on this. It is important because this is your crown and glory. This is your crown and glory. Do not let our premier institutions like this just wither away. Please do not do that. And this is a very important topic. Like I told you, this may not be trending, but this is a very important topic and every Indian needs to know about it. Because if you don't ensure that you protect your IIT and ensure that it functions perfectly well and functions brilliantly, you are going to lose out the kind of people, the kind of technology experts that our country is creating. We are supposed to be known all over the world. We are supposed to be one of the best in the world. And we are going to lose that stand. So the point I wanted to make through this short editorial of mine is that, listen, end of the day, if we can't protect our IITs, then there is no point in talking about any other subjects like Mandir, Masjid and all that. All that is not going to help you to grow. All that is not going to help you to be a powerful nation. All that is not going to help you to be a developed nation. All that is not going to help you to be an economically well-placed nation. All that is not going to help you. This will help you. That's the point I wanted to make through the short editorial. That said, thank you so much for watching me, and please visit our website. Please visit our website, check our website out. Let me know if your feedback. We've absolutely revamped our website. Now it's a good website. Our app may not be working at the moment for the simple reason that we've changed our website. So it'll take us some time to create a new app and then come in front of you, and those takes a lot of money. It costs a lot of money. We don't have that kind of money at the moment, but we are trying to raise it. That will take us some time, but please do log on to our website. You logging on to our website is very important for us. Please do log on to our website. Please go through our website. Please read our editorials. Please read our articles. Let me know how you enjoy it. Let me know how you like it. Is it good? Is it interesting? Are you finding it worth your while? And so on and so forth. So that's what I would request you. And of course, as usual, I would request you, please subscribe to our channel. Please pay according to whatever you can pay us according to that subscription amount. If you can, it will help us. We require your funds to run our show. So that's all that I have for today. And till I see you next time, take care. Namaskar.